We drive by this place almost every day, and my kids always yell out, "Mom, stop, stop." They love cupcakes. They want cupcakes. And if I'm really honest, I want a lot of things too. Something in me kind of screams out on a daily basis, I want that. I want that. And sometimes it's something shallow, and sometimes it's something deep. There's just this constant feeling in me of wanting and longing and striving and chasing. And it seems to run faster and faster if I don't fill it. And so I'll fill it with little things here and there. Like that's gonna fix it. And so I'm building these things. I'm building this life. I'm trying to make it perfect. I'm trying to put it together just right. Get the sprinkles on top. Our souls are longing for something. They're discontent. But this isn't a problem in America. This is a human problem. This has always been a problem for us. The first two people on the planet show up and God's with them. God's so close to them. They have this relationship with God of the universe. They have the Garden of Eden. They have everything they could ever want. And they go chasing the one thing they can't have. There's this feeling in them they want what they can't have, and they think that they're gonna find it in the one thing God says don't chase. There was this king, Solomon, in the Old Testament. He had everything you could ever want on this planet. It says in Ecclesiastes 2, it says, "And whatever my eyes desired, I did not keep from them. I kept my heart from no pleasure." He had everything. If he wanted it, if he saw it, he got it. And then he says, a couple verses down, "Then I considered all that my hands had done and the toil I had expended in doing it. And behold, all of it was vanity and striving after the wind. And there was nothing to be gained under the sun." He had it all. And he said, it still feels like the wind. It feels like something I can't catch. It feels like something pointless. I can't bottle, and it can't make me feel better. And yet he spent all this time chasing it. We're spending all this time chasing it. My husband and I had to move a lot while he was beginning ministry. It was rent house after rent house after rent house, and move after move after move. And you know, if you rent houses, you don't unpack china and you don't hang curtains. And curtains became this thing for me. I just longed for them. I ached for them in my soul. I just thought that if I got curtains, that feeling would go away. I wanted to feel secure and stable and grounded. I wanted my place. I wanted to know where it was as a family that we would be in our home, that it would feel like a home. I was longing for something, and I thought that fabric was gonna make it feel better. It reminds me of Philippians. In chapter 3, it's scary, really, because Paul's describing these people that hate God. And he says, many walk as enemies of the cross. Their end is destruction. Their God is their belly. That's the most they hope for. And their glory is in their shame. Their minds are set on earthly things. My mind was so fixated on something earthly, on a piece of fabric that was going to be here for a minute. I thought that was going to fill something in my soul. And then in verse 20, he says, but our citizenship, those of us that know God, our citizenship is in heaven. Paul talks about further on in chapter 4, he says, I have learned in every situation to be content. Something about Paul's perspective of his short, little, measly life helped him be content no matter what. He says, I know how to be brought low. I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and having need. In plenty and need to be content. Doesn't that sound so, so good? Our souls are aching for it. And Paul says, I've learned it, and the way I learned it in verse 13, I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. There's something inside of Paul that is real. It is not a bumper sticker. It is not a slogan. It is not a verse that he memorized when he was 12. It is something real. Something about God in him helped. In Psalm 16, David writes out to the Lord. He's trying to process exactly how it is that God's going to smush down into his soul. And he does this pretty well, better than anybody else I've ever read. He has this relationship with God that is so filling to him, that is so nourishing, that it's real and it satisfies him. He says, "You are my Lord. Apart from you, I have no good thing." Those who run after other gods, they're going to keep suffering more and more and more. When I'm chasing curtains and cupcakes and perfect lives and perfectly behaved children and the right wardrobe and the perfect husband and everything to be fixed now and just right, it says I'm going to keep suffering more and more and more. Isn't that true? Isn't that what happens? We suffer more and more when we think we're fixing it, when we think we're going to have what we need and it's going to finally fill us. There's just more suffering. There's more that we want. And he goes on to say, "Lord, you alone are my portion and my cup. You alone fill me. I'm empty, and without you coming in and filling me, it's going to keep feeling empty inside." Because he designed this. He's the one that put this running thing in me. It screams that I need something else. There has to be more than this. It screams that I can't fix this on my own, and everything like Solomon that I keep trying to fix it with, it's not filling. Augustine has this quote. He says, "Our souls are restless until they find their rest in thee." That is just sums up how I feel. My soul is restless. And yet I'm trying to find it in God, and I'm trying to find it in heaven. And how do we do that? How do we actually take the invisible and believe in it enough to live for it? Believe in it enough to hope for it and to live content like Paul?